Hello, you're right. This is our first video on how to modify your car. This is one of the first times I've tried to modify the car, so things might go wrong, but that's okay. It's always good to try, fail, and learn how to do new things. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to turn off the visibility of some of these sketches we don't need. So right click, remove visibility, 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 visibility. You might not need that if you didn't have those things showing, but I had those things showing. I don't want them there anymore, so I took them away. Now, some things you might want to change with your designs are things like the front wing, the shape of the body, the rear wing, spacing of the wheels, all sorts of things. So I'm just going to show you a few ways you can start to modify your diagram. Now, one of the things you might want to do is change the shape of the body of your car. So let's just look, and if you click on these things on this left-hand side here, you can actually see what part of the car you're modifying. It shows it up. So let's click on this extrusion 4 now. This looks like it's that back area. So was it extrusion 3? Let's go on that. So what you can click on here is edit the sketch, and that was the shape of that back region of the car. We sort of cut that away. So we can show project cut edges, and that was the bit of the car we cut away at the back. We might want to change that for our car. We might decide that we don't want that to be 16, well, that could be 17, for example. Oops, 17 is good enough, enter. And we don't want that to be 40, we want that to be, say, 50. So press enter, and then finish sketch. And what that does, you can see, it's going to change that bit we cut away is now much bigger because I changed the dimensions. So you don't have to do very much to change things. You just got to go back and find the original sketch and modify. Now, one other thing you might want to do is move the position of the wheels, for example. Now, it's going to take a bit of time to go through and hunt through and find out where these things are. But I think it's hole number 1. That was the hole we put in there. And this rectangular pattern one, that's where we actually, originally, if you think back, we made this first axle and then just mirrored it out the back. That's what this rectangular pattern one is. We're just told it to make the same pattern a bit further back. So we can actually right click on that and let's see, edit feature. And that shows we actually said we want that back wheel to be 140 millimeters away from the front wheel. We don't want to change it. We want to say, well, that's too close. We want that to be 150, for example. So we can change that. And you can see straight away that moves back. And click OK. And now our wheel is way back more. That's caused some problems. Obviously, that means I've stuffed some things up. So probably not a good change to make. So I might just cancel that change and move it back to where it was. Maybe we can make it a bit not so far away. So let's go edit feature. Let's make it 145. See if it's happy with 145. Let's find out. No, I didn't like that either. Maybe that's just too far away. It doesn't like it that far back. So let's go edit feature. Maybe bring it a bit closer. So maybe 135. Does it like being close to the front? Yep, seems happy with that. So that's a way you can actually move the wheels around. I'm not sure why I didn't like going further to the back. Maybe so you can figure out why I didn't like going further to the back. But if you need to move the wheels, that's one way you can move the wheels. What else can we change? This is interesting. Extrusion 2, that's that where we actually made that funny shape. We might not like that shape anymore. Let's go change that shape of the car. That's something you might want to edit as well. So we're looking at that extrusion. I can't see it, so there we go. Remember, we drew that shape and then we cut it away from the body. Now we might decide that we don't actually like that shape anymore. We can change some of the dimensions there. So let's just move this sketch just a little bit so I can see. We might decide the car's too thin at the front. So we might, I'll press escape again. We might decide we want to change that dimension. So double click. We want that to be 12 now, for example. And that's not long enough. So let's make that 60. And this curve, that's a bit too big. Let's make that 80, for example. Okay, that's going to completely change the shape of our car. Let's go finish sketch, see what happens. And boom, let's change the shape of our car. Okay, so we're just modifying the way our car is designed. That might have some implications on the total width of our car, for example. That's something you're going to double check and make sure that it's still a compliant car. So you can change the shape of the body of the car by playing with those initial extrusions. Some other things you might want to change, maybe for example the wings. Now the wings are a pretty complicated design. We can make some modifications there. Let's look at the back wing, for example. Let's see, we scroll down. I think it was sketch 7, or which one was it? Extrusion 7. So you can right click on extrusion sketch 7 and go edit sketch. And it runs away for some reason, like mine always does. It doesn't like me editing it. So let's just go project cut edges so I can see it. Now don't forget all these other extra patterns here were things I made when I was checking compliance, all these little shapes. It had to be, at least as big as that small thing, but it couldn't be any bigger or any taller than that. And I think we had some problems there. So let's modify some things. Let's see some of the things we could change. So why don't I'll press escape again to get off that hand symbol. What if I want to change that angle? Let's make it 25 degrees instead. That might make your compliance pretty bad. That's something you could try. And rather than 25, let's say we want to really short, make that 10. Does it like 10? Yep, so I've changed the shape completely of my wing. Maybe 10 is too short. I want that to be 50 instead. Okay, I can make a really big wing if I wanted to. So let's see what happens there. All right, that's made that back wing. Oh, didn't like that at all. Could not build that. Too complicated. Okay, fair enough. Oh, I tried it. Okay, so I think that means there's going to be some problems there. If you look down here, it's this fillet 5. That's that really complicated fillet around the edge there. It could not make that fillet anymore because the back wing was just too weird now. It has some issues there. So you can either try and edit that and try and fix it. I'm not sure how we're going to fix that though. It doesn't like that at all. Let's try and make it 2mm. Is it like that? Yeah, like that. So that's one way you can fix it. Or if you realize that it's so badly gone wrong that you can't fix it at all, what you can do is actually click on that. I don't want that fillet anymore. I'm going to press delete on the keyboard. Okay, that fillet is now gone. Unfortunately, that removes my beautiful cassie at the front there, but that's something, if you have a fillet that you just can't fix, because sometimes when you change shapes of things, the fillet mathematics gets too complicated and the program doesn't like it, you can delete that fillet and then try and put a fillet back in again later on. But I don't want cassie to go away. I'll bring cassie back. I'll undo. I'll undo. I don't really want that back wing to be so big, so I'll undo again. Let's try a smaller back wing. Does it like a smaller back wing? Okay, once again, had some trouble with some fillets. Once again, it's fillet 4 this time. Had some issues with fillet 4. You might have to delete fillet 4, then go back and put those fillets back in, or you can actually right-click and edit the fillet and go in and change all those fillets. Now let's see if I can edit that one. So edit the feature. Don't know what it doesn't like. That one at the back, so it's causing it trouble. So what could we do there? Let's see, is it like 3mm? Does that help the problem? Okay, it could fix some of them, but not all of them. So I've changed some of these fillets to 3mm. Some of them just still doesn't like very much, but it seems to be a bit more happy with that now. So there's some things you can do to the back wing if you want to change the back wing. I've changed the position of the wheels. I've changed the shape of the body. Now changing the front wing, some things you can do. So let's see the front wing extrusion. It wasn't extrusion 5. It looks like it's extrusion 6. Let's edit that sketch again. Don't know why cassie keeps running away from me. Let's bring it back again. So here's that really complicated front wing. There's a whole lot of fillets on here, so I might get cranky with fillets when we change the shape of this. We also had a big rounded fillet at the front here. We can change some things about this front wing. Now I'll show you a little thing here. If I try to change this to a too big angle, say 30 degrees, it doesn't like it, and that's because we've said it's got to intersect with this circle here with radius 17.5. We make the angle too big, it won't touch that. There is some limits on the angles we can put here. Let's see what's the biggest angle I can find. Is it like 25? Yeah, it can fit 25. What about 27? Is 27 too big? Yeah, 27 is too big. And let's see, 26. Even 26 is too big. So 25 is about as big as the angle you can make based on this sketch. But if I make this, say now 20 instead, let's make that circle a bit bigger. I should be able to make that angle a bit bigger now because I've made that thing. Okay, so this shape depends on the size of this circle you've got here and also the size of the angle, so you can play with that a little bit. Some other things you might want to change. Well, what if I decide I don't want this front wing to be flat with the bottom, I want it actually to be different. I can draw a little line here. Let's say I want to make this front wing a different shape. I want to start a line here. I want that to go up to there. I want that to be a certain angle as well. If that's 27 degrees, I want that to be 27 degrees as well. Okay. Now, at the moment, that's not really going to change the shape of my front wing because it's still extruding that whole area there, but I think I might be able to try something tricky. I might be able to trim. I want to trim that little bit off. I don't want that bit anymore, so now my front wing shape is only that. Let's see if it's happy with that. Okay, look at that. It changed the front. I don't know if you can see that from where you are, but it changed the shape of that front wing. So you can actually muck around with the dimensions and change the shape of your wings at the front and the back the same way. Or you could even, if you really hated that back wing, for example, or the front wing, what you could do is go extrusion 7, for example, or say extrusion 6. I don't like that wing at all. Let's just get rid of that altogether. Is it going to go away? No. Let's try that again. Delete. Yes, go away. Alright, and that's taken away the front wing altogether. That extrusion is now gone. The sketch is still there, so if I want to bring it back, I can bring it back. But that front wing is now completely gone. It's not a very compliant car now, but that's one way you can actually change sketches too. I don't want that, so I'm going to undo that. Now, one thing I haven't done, which I probably should have done at the start, and I'll do that quickly now, is I'm changing my beautiful cassie model. And if I hit save now, I won't lose all the original beautiful designs I had. So I'm going to go up here, I'm going to go save as, and I'm going to call this cassie, for example, mod 1, because it's the first modification I've made to cassie. Now don't forget that when you're designing your car as a group or your inventor designer, they'll need to modify the basic car design so it's compliant, or they could even draw a new car from scratch so it's compliant, and then as a team you're going to modify it one part each. So in the next video I'll show you what it means to modify one variable or one part of the car.